All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever episode of the Not Named podcast at the moment. So, whether you're watching on YouTube, scrolling past us on your feed, or somehow got lost and ended up here by accident, we're glad you made it. Look, there's lots of podcasts out there, and now there's just one more. All right. So, a few random nerds, family, with Mike's opinions and way too much to say and stuff that hasn't even come out yet. All right, but if you're into movies, comics, video games, and tech with a side of chaotic energy and bad takes, then trust me, you're in the right place. So today we're dividing into some major heat. So we have Marvel had revealed their cast for the Avengers Doomsday just a few days ago. DC finally gave us a full sneak peek of the new Superman movie, and we're talking hype, theories, fan freakouts, whatever this all means for the future of both cinematic universes. And you know what? If we're gonna try our best to make it go as quickly as possible, make it as fun as possible. I'm here with two of my cousins. They're also nerdy, loud. We're all grew up in the Bronx, so we know how to be outspoken. All right, and so that we're also unqualified about what we're talking about. We're not experts, except for my one cousin Edgar. He's a comic book expert, so he's got some knowledge here. All right, so first up, Edgar, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
What's up, everybody? My name is Andrew. Like my cousin said, born and raised in the Bronx, love comic books. Been reading them since the 80s, and I'm a big sci-fi fan.
All right, and my other host here, also from the Bronx, the Mister Music himself.
Yeah. Hey, my name is Jorge Pujols, but y'all can call me Young Poppy. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big comic nerd, but I also like my anime as well. So I'm here to voice my opinion with my two cousins right here, and have fun.
All right, and then myself, I am Manny. I am also a gamer. I'm the resident gamer in the family. Have my own YouTube, Scatterbrain Gaming, that I am building up, and I'm just here to keep things going. We're gonna make this happen nicely or off the rails, whatever the case may be. So grab your popcorn, charge your controllers, and jump in before somebody tries to reboot this mid episode.
Um,
All right, so we are here with
yeah.
our first pilot podcast. We're gonna try some things out. The main thing for me, this is hangout time for cousins that we don't get to see each other all the time. So,
Did you
you
lose him
enjoy it
too?
or not,
He just
whatever the
froze.
case may be, I hope
Okay.
you are
There you
here
go.
with us for the long run with whatever we do.
You're vanishing, my brother.
Yeah, that's fine. It's still recording.
I didn't hear nothing
Okay.
you said though. That was the problem.
Oh yeah, I was just kind of doing an extra little intro there.
Okay.
So
Making sure. This
I
is
can
perfect.
hear you, but I can't see you, so you're good.
yeah, my camera got lost. Technical difficulties of the first.
First ever podcast.
That's right. That's how you know it's live, folks. This ain't pre-recorded.
Yeah, this nameless podcast we going with.
Well,
Man, I
fortunately,
still
the
think
nameless podcast has
Plebo's
been
Geek Fest
used.
sounds great. What? Come on. Why can't we just do a Plebo's Geek Fest? We're all a bunch of geeks in our own way, and we're a bunch of Plebos. Duh. Or Plebo's Geek Cast. I like that Geek Cast.
What was the one I chose?
Ooh.
Fuego Fandom.
Yeah, I like that one.
So we
I
had the
like
other
that one
one,
too.
Nerdy by
I
Nature,
can
but
deal with that one.
unfortunately
Fuego
that was
fandom.
already
Yeah, I
taken.
can deal with
So
that one.
Nerdy by Nature
Or
is
we
the
can
one
say
they
Primos presents.
Fuego Fandom is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you can say Primos presents Fuego. I mean, I just want to keep the word Primos somewhere.
Now we,
Okay, now we can't see you. You're not even sitting in the chair.
no, he went to go fix it real quick. That's what it is.
Oh, you gotta get that camera. Yeah,
Yeah, to fix his camera.
fire your cameraman right now. Tell him that you don't care about the union, man. These guys
Unionize
pay
over
them
here.
$15 an hour. We can't even get a camera right. What's wrong with these guys? You gotta fire them. You gotta get them out.
Gotta unionize over here.
Hey, Manny, this scatterbrain gaming, is it like It's one word, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
got
it's
it.
one word.
Scatterbrain Gaming. Okay, subscribe. I just subscribed. All
I
right.
have it
I don't
should have
play
a
video games
brain
right
and
now, but
something
okay, I
else.
love that shit. Yeah. Oh, view the
It
channel.
should have a.
Okay, there you go.
I don't have anything on my YouTube yet. That's why I said I'm
I
building
got
it.
you.
There we go.
Oh,
All
this
right, put
says
the
nine
bookmark
views
out.
10 years ago.
That might not be me. There's another one. I'm a newer one. I just made mine, so that might be old. There's
Well,
another
send
one
me
that
that link immediately.
they
Let's
went
not let's
dead.
not waste any time with that. Send me that link.
They went dead,
All
and
right.
so I was like, well, I'll take the name.
What's up with this curveball? I'm trying to figure out this curveball. I mean, you think you got a
All right, so
curveball?
yes,
Let's
I
see.
do have. So we're gonna discuss the trailer for the cast. Like I said, we're gonna just kind of go through that, view it. I haven't seen it. Young Poppy, I don't know if you've seen it, but we'll
I
take it,
have.
check it out. Like I said, he has seen it, so it'll be a fresh reaction from me. He's already been doing his research, so
I
I mean,
already
I've
got
been
the
hearing
cast list up
things.
right here, man.
I've been
It's
hearing
like 70
things.
people.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. So I've been hearing that. That's pretty much what's been going on. So we
Does
will.
anybody want to hear the cast?
Well, we're gonna
I
watch
mean,
it.
we're
We're
about to
gonna
watch
watch
the
the video
trailer.
because
Hold
it's gonna
up, we're
go
about to
through.
watch the trailer. Like,
So
like,
let me share my screen.
because we're about to watch the trailer. So the
Let me
cast is.
let me know if
I
you
mean,
see
don't
it.
get me
Here we go.
wrong. I feel
I
like a
got you. I
cast
see it
out
right
here.
now. Okay.
Make sure the volume is good though. Like it might be too loud.
Yeah, I lowered it. Yeah, just to make sure. All right,
Yeah.
so let's check this out. Okay. Hey. Hey. Okay.
Oh,
They kept the music. Okay, they kept the music. I'm some of the names I'm surprised.
yeah, me too. Because I don't know some of them names. I'm like, who is
No,
this?
yeah, like offhand, I'm like I don't know who some of these
Like
people are, but
there was like
I'm terrible at
four
names.
I didn't know. I'm like,
41
who are these
people.
people?
I
41
I'm bad with
people.
names as it is. So to be honest, I mean this is some of it. I'm like I don't know who this person is. Like some of them look familiar. Like I mean I know Tom Hiddleston, Loki. So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
a good one. I'm like okay, Loki's
Yeah, I was
back.
surprised.
Ian McKellen. I thought he was too old to do anything.
I was surprised Patrick Stewart is
Look at
coming.
Patrick Stewart. I
I know
mean,
Patrick Stewart, but I mean, I feel like Patrick Stewart because he's been bald forever. He's been the same age since I was a kid. So
You know who I thought couldn't get older? That finally got older. Freaking what's his name? Morgan Freeman, because he shaved his head. I was like, I didn't think you get any older.
oh,
That was crazy when he
I know,
shaved.
yeah,
I was
because
like,
he's
yo, you
another
not
one.
even.
He's another one who, since I've been a kid, yeah, he's old. So that's that's another one that I'm like, yeah, yeah, that's
He
true.
got even older.
He's been
Once he
old
shaved that
since
head, I said, whoa,
forever.
I didn't think it was possible.
dude, he's a
Like when I
thousand years
go
old. Remember, black don't crack. That's how it is, guys. So that's how you know.
when I remember seeing like I've seen pictures of him like younger. I was like, oh snap, he wasn't always gray. This guy,
We froze again.
Yeah, we're losing Manny over here.
Sorry, I had to refresh
He went pitch
the
black.
network real quick.
Said, man, you gotta fire your cameraman. That guy sucks.
Nah, he needs to
Oh,
pay his Wi-Fi bill.
I
That's what
had
that
to
is right there.
refresh. Everything was moving slow, so I had to refresh it a little bit.
You might have to go upstairs where the service is better connected
No,
Ethernet.
no, I'm good. I'm on the I was on the heavy Wi-Fi. But all right, so let's talk about it. Let's these names. Did it just disconnect me again? These names. So I mean, I was hearing in the rumor mill that there's people who were hoping to get Holly Berry, and she was obviously not one of the names.
Yeah. She said she's not doing it. Yeah, she already said she's not doing it.
I'm surprised.
So
That's a
that's a
good
little
cash grab for her.
right. That's a little disappointing. I got,
I'm surprised they have all the older cast instead of bringing in
The younger.
uh, the younger guys. I mean,
I would have
they
loved
already set the standards. They already.
what's his name from
I'm
that
not sure
played.
why they're doing that, but whatever.
Nah, I feel you. Like,
Disney
I
has
would
its
agree.
reasons.
I
so
would have
I
loved
mean,
to.
because I think they still want to do the Young Avengers.
No, no, no. He's talking about
Well, no,
the
no, I
young
meant the
X-Men.
younger cast of X-Men.
Yeah, first class.
Oh, oh,
The
oh,
first class.
oh.
Yeah, the first class.
Yeah, those the first class, and the the movies were so forgettable, unfortunately. Days of Future
Ah,
Past and
Days of
Dark Phoenix
I feel
Saga.
like Days of
So
Future Past wasn't terrible.
let's not talk about that.
I feel like it was the better of the
Ugh.
flashbacks.
It technically fixed the X-Men, but not
They tried.
really.
No, it didn't fix. They tried,
They
but it
tried, but it did.
didn't.
They
That's the
did.
part that's like, what was the
But
purpose of making this movie if you're not gonna fix anything?
Right. So,
make money, make money. That's the purpose.
Well, originally it was supposed to fix it, but Disney bought, saying Fox and all that. That's where all this started happening, unfortunately. Like, in my opinion, but we'll get into that a little bit further down the line. But I don't disagree with you. I would have preferred. I mean, I like Patrick Stewart as Professor X because obviously he's the OG. But yeah, I would have got the younger cast too. But they're not as young as they used to be either. What's his name?
none of them
Well, that's what makes it so good. Michael Fassbender and God, I forgot that kid's name.
I, he's not a kid no more. He's an old man too. He's like in his 40s or
Eh,
50s now.
Well, that's what makes it. That's what no, they're in the 40s. But that's what makes it perfect for them to play the parts now,
Well,
instead of
yeah,
getting somebody that's like 1,000 years old.
I mean,
are.
they got the multiverse, so they can always bring them in as well. So it's not.
And I think that's what they're gonna do.
I
Yeah.
thought they were done with the multiverse. I thought they
No,
were
Well,
still
it
okay,
doing
hold
just
it.
on.
started.
George just brought up a good point, which is what I was gonna say. Now that we talked about the trailer, so I just finished watching the last recent trailer, or should I say, the most recent trailer of Fantastic Four. Still trying to figure out if they're gonna show the Easter eggs where I can tell if they're living hints as how they're going to get them into this universe. And this trailer did say something, and it showed something that shows me that there's going to be some sort of multiverse situation in the universe of the Fantastic Four that we are going to be introduced to that will lead them into our universe. But here's my biggest question: why pick Robert Downey Jr. when Tom Waltz can play the part much, much better? I mean, sorry, Christopher Waltz can play the part better.
Who's
The guy
Christopher?
from Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained. They're only 1 inch apart in height, and he's taller. He has the accent. He's already Eastern European. It would have been the perfect Victor Von Doom.
What's his name again?
And that way you could have been brought you could have brought back Tony Stark later on.
What was his name? Edgar, the guy you talking about?
Christopher Waltz. Yeah, Inglorious Bastards, Django Unchained. He was a bad guy in the James Bond movies. I mean, the man could
Okay.
have he would have been
Okay. I
perfect.
think I remember this guy.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's aged. How old is he? He's
All right.
68
Let's.
years
And they're
old.
only 1 inch apart in height. I checked their heights, they're only 1 inch apart.
Yeah, 68 years old.
So yeah, because
Yeah.
That's
And he
why.
looks great. He looks great.
I mean, yeah, compared to having Robert Downey Jr. He's close, isn't he?
Yeah, but with
Yeah,
Robbie,
they're
it's a
both there.
different
They're not
story.
that far in age.
it's a different story with Robert because he's already been part of the MCU for so long that it makes sense with him. It
I
started with
mean,
him.
I
But
mean,
that's the
because I
thing. They could have brought back Iron Man, and they lost an opportunity because it's all, okay, how do we bring them to love Avengers Doomsday? Bring back Robert Downey Jr. And people were upset. They wanted him. They were happy to see him,
yeah,
but they were upset that they decided to bring him back as another character. There's still people upset about it. And the MCU fans are not happy about it. They're not. A lot of the storyboards are saying the same thing. They wish it was
yeah,
someone else so they can bring back Iron Man.
yeah. It definitely was one of those things. At first, I did not know how to feel about it. I was like, it was a surprise, definitely, but I didn't know how to feel about it. And I'm trying to get my video back up, but it was definitely one of those things. That was like, okay, interesting choice. I've heard some fan theories. If you're familiar with New Rock Stars, they're really good. Oh, hey, we got another intro into the.
All right, introduce yourself, please, to the
Hey,
audience. Introduce yourself to the audience and tell us what
we
you're
got
eating.
another cousin joining the pod.
Hello,
Late as always.
everybody. It's Joseph. How's everybody doing?
Hey, we are good. How are you?
We're
You
okay. We
good?
just saw the trailer to Doomsday, Avengers
So yeah,
Doomsday.
have you seen the trailer to it? The intro to the cast?
The intro to the cast of Doomsday? No.
Yeah, so it's a pretty laundry list of people. I think Edgar said he has the whole list. So
41 people.
All right. That was all the people that were
41
introduced?
people.
yes,
41
all in
people are
this
going to be
one
in the movie.
All right.
so far. But I mean, they're saying that
41 famous actors.
this is just the
Listed.
beginning.
I don't know. Sam Liu is not that famous, but I mean, you. And neither is the girl who played Black Panther in the last one. I mean, they're just popular.
I mean, she
Famous, you got,
would have been
I mean,
the
she
Iron.
is a
famous.
Black Panther technically. She's famous.
I mean, with her controversies,
What,
she's
what
she's
controversy?
shaky territory.
What controversy? I haven't heard none of these.
She's a
Zuri?
conservative in real life in a lot of ways.
I mean, it's not just it's the main like anti-vax when it comes to like vaccinations. She was real vocal about it, and that gets under everybody's
But
skin. So,
true, but some people forget for the black community, it's a little bit different. And that's the reason why. And to me, you have to give them leeway when you consider the history of how the black community has been treated when it comes to vaccinations. So
but she's not American, right? She's not American.
I
So I
know,
mean,
but
the
it doesn't
mindset.
mean
American.
that it was not done around the world.
No, I thought she isn't
So,
she
yes.
isn't she
She's American.
is she?
She
No,
just
she's
plays a
English.
character from Africa.
No, she's English. She's from Britain.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, so
One of her first,
the mindset is a little bit different than America when
but
it comes to
Manny,
some things like that.
um, one of her first appearances on TV was in a Doctor Who episode
What was she like 2?
with Peter Capaldi. I think she
Oh.
was like 19 or 20. It was right before she got the role for. She actually got the role for Black Panther because the director knew
Oh.
her from Doctor Who.
See, I probably haven't gotten that far.
Oh no, you haven't got to that episode yet. Yeah, you're like one season out and a half out. I know for a fact.
My
Folks, for those of you who don't know, Doctor Who is the longest lasting television sci-fi show in history.
Yeah, I know.
So, and you want to start with episode Blink if you haven't watched it yet. Anyway,
I can't get
back
into
to the new guest joining us.
Mr. Wilson.
While you should tell us a little bit what you think of the trailer you haven't seen yet and your ideas of knowing such a big cast.
So this is Doomsday, right?
yeah. So
That's
this is
correct.
Avengers Doomsday we're talking about first.
Okay. See, you needed to start with Avengers because you just said Doomsday, and I was thinking, what are we
Yeah,
talking about
Avengers
here? Okay.
Doomsday.
You
I
start
know.
with
Yeah,
Superman.
Apologies.
Doomsday.
I
Which
was
Apologies.
having
ones?
trouble with like
Yes.
making things for this, and it was like
The comic.
popping up all these other stuff. I'm like, wait a minute. So
Okay.
yes, the Avengers Doomsday trailer.
Now I'm excited. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you
No,
seen
I
it?
I was too busy watching the Superman trailer, the extended look. I did not get to
So
watch
yeah,
that.
so we have the sneak peek that we're gonna do as well.
Yeah. No, but I need to watch now. I need to watch the Avengers trailer. Jeez.
Well, how about this? Manny, play the next trailer to get him caught up on a conversation. And at some point, we'll come back to that Avengers Doomsday that he can watch silently on his own after.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, then I'll try and figure out what's going on with my camera.
You
Yeah,
got
actually.
that?
I was
Yeah,
good
you gotta fix
until
that camera.
Look at your camera, bro.
Did
I
you
don't
have
know
it
But
what
fixed at
Joseph,
that
just so
point?
you know, the trailer doesn't have any action sequences or any live action anything. It literally just shows the a studio chair with the name of the cast on it. That's it. 40, it's just the camera going down on chairs, and it's 41 cast members
Okay.
from the original X-Men movies to Thor, Black Panther, Thunderbolts, um,
which
Fantastic
I'm actually
Four.
pretty
Captain
excited for
America.
Thunderbolts. I kind of that is one movie that
That's
I
gonna
am
be
really
fun to
excited
watch. Did you see them come in
The
at Comic
trailer for
Con?
that looks good.
Yeah.
Did anybody see their entrance at Comic Con?
for. No, I
Nah.
didn't.
No.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. So I wish we could watch it, but so basically the Red Guardian drove them in a limo. That was the Red Guardian limo while they were drinking in the back to Comic Con, let them out, change clothes, and then they walked in drunk, talking about how what the hell, where's our seats? This is ridiculous. And they're like drinking and talking, walking into the middle of the theater right before the movie show.
Wow.
No, I think, with Guardians of the Galaxy ending their series, I think this is the perfect replacement of like that funny action group that they need. So I think
Yeah.
this is going to be a great new series for them, Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah,
Very good to
absolutely.
point out. Yeah.
I didn't
Because
even
they,
I just realized they did end the Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah.
That
Hell,
was
man, I don't know. That third movie was questionable.
I think, with
It
James
had
Gunn
Dramatic.
leaving, I think
choices.
that's kind of, put the
It
seal
made
on it.
choices.
I mean they kept Star
Yeah,
Lord,
it
so
made several $100 million choices in success.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
That's one thing about a Marvel movie. It's going to make some money.
oh, all day, every day.
Even the
Oh
flop.
yeah,
Unless
for sure.
unless unless you're the last Fantastic Four film,
Unless you're Miss Marvel.
which is what I'm watching right now.
Or the Marvels or anything related to
Oh
Marvel
that.
God, yeah, the
related.
Marvels,
Which
The
I
Marvels
mean,
was
the
good,
Daredevil.
though. You think
So
the
I mean,
Marvels?
to be honest, to
No.
be honest, if I mean Brie
It had
Larson's
a
still
dance
dry.
sequence.
Brie Larson was still dry. I think she did a lot better in this one than she did in the first one. I give her that.
It
She
had a
see she
dance
had
sequence,
she
guys.
she had more
We had a dance
personality,
sequence, guys. Come on, seriously.
but
They
it
tried to.
was
If you look at this film correctly, they tried to add Indian Pakistani culture styles by having a dance sequence. That was wrong.
That's
It
good.
didn't
What's
fit in a
wrong with
Marvel movie
intertwining the
about three women trying
cultures?
to find out that the one woman that's a hero actually murdered thousands of people. They should have made the movie should have been better. It's the reason why um, Love and Thunder sucked. They made a joke out of it instead of going, okay, now we need to transition and start making the Marvel movies the same as the comic books.
Well, that one was
These
Honestly,
were
good.
after the
statements
second
that they
Thor,
should
though,
have
it's been
made.
it.
Yeah.
Second Thor.
The
Love
Thor
and
is
Thunder
bad.
was oh
yeah, Love and Thunder.
God, that broke
That
my
I was
heart.
I was so disappointed with that one.
Yeah, I fell asleep.
But if you ever read the
But
comic books, you'll love her comic books. They were great.
Well, that's
because
they
I mean,
killed off. What's her name? Like I didn't. What was the point?
Natalie
Well, she
Portman.
dies in the comic book too.
Yeah, but she had just gotten the power. She could have been
That's
part
the
of this
point.
Yeah.
sequel.
You're absolutely right. Yep.
Hey, like we just got Jane Foster. Now you're gonna kill her off
It
already?
should have been at least
yeah,
a
Like
Nick Cage
Exactly.
you
movie.
you just brought her back from cancer in the last two movies, and then you'd kill her again.
you kill her.
That would have been like two films leading up to another Thor
And
movie.
then the worst
That's
part
what
is,
happened.
like, right? You thinking, okay, so he introduced his daughter, right? His actual daughter. She's not even gonna be part of it no more. I said, what was the point of Love and Thunder then? This would be like the Guardians are here, and that's
Bingo,
it.
Yeah, I mean,
bingo, bingo,
the-
bingo. Man, your camera ain't working.
no, yeah, I have to like re-enter it and all this other jazz.
What camera are you using?
All right.
My OBS, I had it set up and then it just keeled over.
Oh, don't be yawning on camera and make everybody yawn. Not everybody's gonna be yawning. All right. I got my backlighting set up. Okay, cool. Got my backlight. See my backlight? My
Oh,
backlight.
wow.
Ooh, backlight.
That's a nice mood light for a podcast.
Well, you know, you gotta have some kind of mood. Jorge looks like he's about to tell somebody to shoot someone right now. He's sitting in that chair.
What? I'm
That
laid
that
back, nigga.
that's a nice lazy boy you got there.
Yes,
Damn
sir.
right, he looks way too relaxed.
Yeah, that,
Okay,
you sure that's
You know,
not your bed?
Manny, let me ask you something. While you try to face the camera, can you show the Superman trailer you want us to see?
Yeah, because that one's gonna be a little bit on the longer side. So let me.
And we're gonna argue about that one. I'm telling you right now.
I haven't seen it. I'm coming in fresh with all of these because I didn't want to. I didn't want to
Okay, let's do
spoil
No,
this.
anything
Let's
for
do
honestly,
it.
myself.
DC, we're gonna really argue because it's like I don't know, bro. Like DC,
We
even
haven't
with
seen the
James
trailer
Gunn
yet.
directing
Watch,
this one.
watch. You haven't seen the trailer yet.
All right, so
No,
let
I've
me
seen I've
get
seen the trailer for this one.
the newest one,
Um,
the one that
yeah,
came
yeah, I've
two
seen
days
the
ago.
newest one too, and I'm ready. Like it just depends on like how has everyone's opinions. Like don't get me wrong, DC has been terrible lately, right? Can we all agree
Except
on
for the
that?
last Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, I'd say
Okay,
the Joker was
Suicide's
good.
only
The original Joker
Suicide
movie.
Squad is the only successful Disney.
Okay, no, we're not going there, Joseph. No, we're not going there.
I'm just saying, you said
That's not
DC,
canon.
so
That's
I'm
not
saying
canon. That's not canon. That's not in the
what's not
DC
canon.
universe.
What?
The Joker movie.
Oh that doesn't even
Yeah, that
count.
wouldn't be considered part of the DCU. That's like
Exactly. They
okay.
That's
they
like
specifically said that they
that's
wrote
his
that as a
own.
drama.
Well,
Yeah,
in
that's
that
his
case,
own
then
little
Yeah.
thing.
then the latest parts of the DCU have been trash.
For I mean, for it being a standalone Joker, not Joker movie, because I can't see that as Joker, but
it wasn't. It was stupid.
I mean,
How is the guy who played the
it was.
Joker
I mean,
died?
if you have to think about it in the sense that this was just somebody wanted to do an art project, and they added the
They had
Joker's
a
name
dance
to it.
sequence again. What's with these
Yeah, the
Marvel
dance
movies with a dance
sequence.
sequence?
I mean,
What
No,
the
the
hell,
second one
we're
was
man?
back
bad.
Come
in
on.
The second one was
we're back
wrong.
in early 2000s when everything was like you had every season of every show. What was it? The last two seasons, you would have that dance off episode, the musical. It always
That's
happened.
funny.
Early, in the mid 2000s, there was always a musical episode.
You had to make it
Buffy
to
the
that point.
Vampire Slayer.
You know, it's
I
funny. The
remember that
Flash,
one.
the
Yeah.
TV show, The Flash, even had like musical segments
They
in it.
all they all have
Yes,
to
you're right
do
about
it
that the
Funny
once
how
other
in
you
a
day.
say that
while.
That's how
too.
you
I was
know a
thinking
show
about
Buffy,
was
Flash.
good. They
Buffy
made it
had a
that
musical
far.
sequence.
Yes, I remember that one's vividly. That
Buffy
was an
had a good
interesting
musical
one.
sequence. That was a good one.
That was an interesting one. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna let's get into this Superman
All right, let's do it.
to compare and contrast it. Like I said, this one's a little bit on the longer side. So
By all means, proceed.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
Uh,
What happened?
what happened?
What are you doing?
real quick, so that is
No, play
so
it.
dog. That is so like little puppy. That that's I like that already because then you know exactly if you have the young dog Joe, especially Luna with your dog.
Well, that's definitely
When
true.
they get, it doesn't matter
That's
what
true.
you're going on. They just jump, jump, jump,
They
jump.
want to play. They want to play.
Yep, exactly. So I just wanted to point that out. I thought that was funny. One of the things I do want to say because this is kind of less an extended of what we've already seen. For if you've seen the Superman, one of the things that someone pointed out is that when you hear him breathe, is like he has a punctured lung. So imagine he's Superman and that breathing. They said that breathing is a punctured lung. So his lung has collapsed at some point. That's why he's So and then for him to still make that whistle, that's takes some power.
I
All
mean,
right.
he's Superman. I hope so.
Now, you know he could fly. He could at least floated a little in the air. Now he's dragging him through the ice.
He's a young dog, and is what it looks like.
Is he a
He could
puppy?
still fly.
How do you know he can?
It's
We
crypto.
don't.
Crypto can fly.
Okay.
Thank you.
No need to thank us, sir, as we will not appreciate it. We have no consciousness whatsoever, merely automatons here to serve. Meet 12. She's new.
He looked at me. Damage to bladder, large intestine, lungs.
With a healthy dose of yellow sun, we'll have you up and at 'em in no time. Level 4, 292 times the heron kindly swallowed.
Woo! Wow, that's insane.
Eh,
That was
I'll have
good.
to
I
wait till the
liked it
movie.
because I like the music.
Yes,
It harkens to the original, giving it a nice fresh feel.
I think a lot of it to me
Well,
draws on a lot of the originals, just like the layer
James
coming
Gunn's a
into
big
the
fan of that.
face. You know, the suit.
He made it very clear he's a big fan of Christopher Reeves in his Superman movies. So you're right.
Which yeah, like hands down, he's Christopher Reeves is still the Superman for me.
Nah.
But if you look at the comics and like how Superman was always like just represented, that's kind of him. It's not just Christopher Reeves, to be honest. I mean, it's just how Superman's represented at all. Like Man of Steel, Boy Wonder. I mean, Man of Justice. You know,
Oh,
like good
hang
guy,
on,
heroic all the
guys. I
time.
might have to leave the pod.
No problem.
All right, I'll be back.
The baby's there. Well, why don't you just keep the baby there? Why would you have to leave the box? The trailer
Shut the
looks
baby.
good. I just don't like Crypto the way he is.
Me neither.
But
I
whatever.
don't
I'm
like
glad
this
that
one.
they got introduced late. Hawk Girl.
I mean, the CGI wasn't bad. I thought the CGI for him was
It's the
pretty
dog. It's
pretty
the dog they
solid.
chose for Crypto for me. It's not even like
Yeah, I know.
CGI. I
It's
don't like the
different.
dog. Like, why is he a poodle?
Not a poodle. He's like
Looks
a
like a poodle.
terrier. He's like a terrier or something like that.
I,
Yeah,
I
it should have been a retriever.
Yeah, it should have been a golden retriever, but I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
that's what I
changing it up,
agree. Like a white
change it
golden
up, you know.
retriever, and that's just my thing. I don't like that they use the Kingdom Come symbol for this one because it's like, okay, he doesn't really use that symbol until he's older, much older. I think that's when they right, Edgar. Am I wrong? That's when they started using the
What do you
Kingdom
mean?
Come symbol. The Kingdom Come symbol, Superman.
The S?
Yeah, I don't like the S on this in this one. I don't know why.
It looks like his suit has a lot of padding. Like, wait, a whole lot of padding.
Yeah, I just don't like the S
Yeah, because
symbol.
I mean, I know they're saying it is supposed to harken back to the old, what is it, the golden age? So that golden age of,
Well,
uh,
let me ask you this. Have any of you watched the original Man of Tomorrow animated movie?
no, I haven't seen that. I remember like the
Okay.
old. It does like it
That,
kind of sort of reminds me of like the old cartoon from back in the day. Like it has that feel.
okay, that's you're absolutely right. That was what the animated movie was kind of represented that way because that's how the graphic novel was represented. Um, you know that
What is it?
it's James Gunn, so he's going to be fans of that type of thing. Like, what would
Was
you
it
call it?
um,
There's a word for like
able
a
to leap saw
modern
buildings in a
punk.
single bound,
No, it's
faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive.
like a modern steampunk style of shooting the movies in his way that he does it. But
Okay, kind of like what is this guy who used James Cameron? How he used to always do. Uh, I feel like once Star Trek hit, and it was like the glares and the bright colors and the bright lights in the background.
Oh my
You know,
god, I hated that. Loki. Those glares was
it
serious.
was good when they first did it. Like I like the glare effect kind of made it feel a little bit more like artistic. It had a nice feel to it, but then it was like everywhere. Everybody was doing it.
Exactly. It got annoying. It
And
got
it's like,
annoying.
okay, there's only one person. And he was a master at that because even when you look back at what he was doing, like what Terminator, he was just a master of just the camera. He knew how to do lighting so well.
It's
well, he learned
realistic.
from one of the best in the industry.
He knows how to make it realistic in like real day situation, like how you drive and you see people's brake lights and all that, or like just driving all the lights around you. It's more realism to it. I don't disagree with that.
But yeah, but then it was like the industry, like, oh man, people love this, and then they overdid it.
Nah, facts.
I don't know about this trailer though. I mean,
I
Guy
don't like
Gardner
Green
looks like a
Lantern.
classic Guy Gardner, but I
I
don't
don't
know.
like the Green Lantern they chose because it's like, okay, why Guy Gardner? And what happened to Hal and
It's James Gunn.
Yeah, it seems like it's
He's
all
gonna
the
pick the most
well, what is it?
outlandish characters in the
Because
DC universe.
they're
Just like in
saying that
Suicide Squad.
yeah, I mean, I didn't like any of Suicide
Guy
Squad.
Gardner is outlandish and loud and rude and crude. He's everything that's perfect for a James Gunn movie.
yeah, but they just skipped like two Green Lanterns already and went straight to him, and he doesn't even have the suit.
Well,
It's like,
no, that's a classic suit.
Isn't that's the
The
suit?
green
That
and
is his
white,
suit.
yeah, the green and white was presented before. Um,
okay,
but apparently, what I'm hearing is because of the Green Lantern Corps TV show, where they introduced James Stewart and an older version of Hal Jordan, is the reason why he kept them separate. Because the TV show is going to be separate from what he wants to introduce as the characters for for the new DC films. Because the movie is, I'm sorry, the TV show is what the hell? The guy from the coach from Friday Night Lights. He was in Godzilla Part Two and Three. The father, Billy Bobby Brown's father. Um, he's gonna play Cal Jordan. I forget his name,
who you?
but James Stewart is gonna be portrayed by this badass brother that's in a Netflix show. Oh man, if you guys never seen this show, it's a TV movie. It's this guy, the perfect James Stewart. When I found out they picked him, let me get this information for you because now we went to a different. Hold on, I'll tell you right now, because They picked the right guy to play James Stewart because that was always a hard choice for me. Here we go. Aaron Pierre, Kyle Chandler, the coach from Friday Night Lights. He's the one that's playing Hal Jordan, an older Hal Jordan. But Aaron
Okay.
Pierre is playing John Stewart, and that guy, he's in a movie on Netflix that if you guys have not seen it, you need to see it. Hold on, you guys, if you haven't seen this movie, because as soon as you see the movie, and you see him, you'll be like, that is the perfect John Stewart. Yeah. Okay.
His name is what? Eric
Oh
what?
snap! It turns out he's the voice of Mufasa in the Mufasa Lion King movie. I didn't know that.
Oh, you talking about that light skinned boy?
Well, I'm not sure if he's that. He's not that light skinned. Rebel Ridge. Yeah, Rebel Ridge on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, ooh,
Rebel Witch?
Ridge.
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 Oh, I saw it. That was pretty good.
Yeah, he's the one that's playing Jon Stewart in the TV show. Kyle Chandler is playing Hal Jordan. And I think that's the reason why he didn't want to do that.
So Aaron Pierre?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about. He played the voice. Yeah.
He's a perfect Hal Jordan. No way. I mean, Jon Stewart.
I'm about to say, wrong, wrong one. It's not Disney. This.
All right. So
So, but that's a TV show you're talking on CW, or is it what's this?
No, I think he's going to be on Max.
Oh, HBO
They
Max. All
already
right.
they're producing it. So they're going to release a lot of DC shit now in the next couple of years. So
Did you guys watch Titans on HBO Max?
I haven't. I'm
I watched the
watching
first two
it.
seasons.
Okay.
I'm
I liked
watching.
it.
I'm in the process of watching it. I haven't gotten very far with it.
I liked it. It was
If you
good.
haven't watched Swamp Thing, ooh, I like Swamp Thing.
I remember the original Swamp Thing, but I didn't know they had a new Swamp Thing.
Yeah, it was only one season,
Yeah.
but it's really good. Really, really good. I also watched Doom Patrol,
Yeah,
Doom
Doom
Patrol was
Patrol was
good.
good
first two
too.
seasons.
Yeah, the first two,
Never
third
finished it.
one they lost me. They lost me on the third one. I couldn't even like there was
Yeah,
nothing connecting. Everything was kind of like all over the place.
it was a little hard to watch. You're right about that.
Nah.
All right, so with the two trailers, since we lost Joe, so we don't have we can't go back. So with the two
Gotcha.
trailers, after watching that, how do you feel is this gonna be are these two trailers are these two movies because I know we like Marvel has way more going on like they have Secret Wars coming out too and we got like we mentioned the Thunderbolts we got tons of things going on with Marvel and DC right now their main focus is all you're hearing about Superman so with Superman coming in to be the reboot of the reboots for DC hopefully James Gunn can save DC's, or else WB might sell them again. Do you think that this
Reboot.
movie can bring them out of that funk, or are we gonna get another reboot? What are we thinking?
Uh,
It's hard to tell, bro.
to,
Like we gotta see how this movie
no,
does.
to be quite honest, nobody. Okay, let's remember this. When Marvel was in its phase two, that year they released three movies. The first two of those movies did not meet expectations. Then the summer came along. The movie industry at that particular time in the year, and I remember this distinctly because I read it, all the movies that were coming out in summer were not as big of a hits as the studio needed. It was going to be, for the first time, the lowest sales and ticket prices for a summer film series for every studio that released a summer movie for the first time in history in the film industry. At the end of the summer, a little film that no one thought was going to be good. Everybody was a little weird about a raccoon, a giant tree, a purple girl, a white dude from a TV show, and nobody expected anything except for the fans of the comic books. Every single one. At the end of that summer, one film saved an entire film industry's profits, and that was the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Wow, I didn't know
So,
that.
can we say Superman's going to be as bad? We don't know. Just like Guardians, we have to wait to see because James Gunn is not Zack Snyder. He cannot mess up a film like Zack Snyder does. He's a good writer. He's a good director. He knows how to edit well, and he also knows how to take people's opinion in his little circle seriously. They will tell him it sucks. No one thought that Peacemaker was going to be a good TV show. No one thought that he was going to reboot the Suicide Squad that he did. And now an entire industry, I'm sorry, an entire studio has put their stake in him, and he's not about to want to F it up. But at the same time, he's going to respect the fans. That's the biggest thing about having chosen now tomorrow. Can it reboot it? If anyone can do it, I hope James Gunn can. But we have to wait to see. Just like Guardians.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, when Chris Pratt came on the scene, I was like, wait a minute, isn't this dude from
Park and
Parks?
Recreations.
I'm like, this dude from Parks is like he's goofier than
Eh,
Goofy, and I was like,
great
okay,
show.
there. And then, yeah, you finish it, and then you're like, oh snap, that was actually pretty good. So that I mean, yeah, definitely, Guardians of the Galaxies boosted them. 'Cause, I mean, like I know they had. Well, I guess when Feige was involved in those beginnings with Iron Man and all that. I mean, even back to they've been trying to do this type of thing for a while from the Incredible Hulk. I mean, that's why they're bringing in all the stuff and keep it and pretending like, oh yeah, it was this is all part of it. They've been trying to do this, but not at the success rate as when when Guardians hit, and all of a sudden it was like, oh snap, they can do something different. And then Taika Waititi also changed Thor from being a terrible. The second one, Dark Worlds, was it's just it was just forgettable. And then he brought it back, but like you
And then
said,
and they brought it down.
and then that thunder doesn't hit twice, or lightning doesn't hit twice in the same spot, so it definitely didn't hit.
That's true.
The
That's
lightning
true.
god did not hit. So, but I mean, from my understanding is that he didn't even want to do the movie. It was kind of like, well, contracts. So, I mean, I
And
wouldn't be
that's messed up. That
surprised.
if he really didn't want to do a movie, he should have at least given respect to the storyline.
Yeah,
Because
but
I'm telling you guys, the
rumor
Goddess of Thunder
mills.
storyline was one of the best comic books released. I'm sorry, series of comic books released for those 2 years that Jane Foster was the Goddess of Thunder, and the stories that she had. I mean, she faced and stood up to Odin himself, one on one. Taiki had an opportunity here to actually reboot the entire Asgardian lore. He even had an opportunity to bring them back from the dead if he had done it right. And to be quite honest, even more, he did a terrible job at underutilizing an Academy Award winning actor as Batman as Gore the God Killer because that storyline was even better. So it could have taken Thor to
Yeah,
another direction.
yeah, but from what my understanding is that it was one of those, oh, you do so good, we keep using you. From my understanding, it was like, let me do bad so they leave me alone because he didn't want to do it. I think he thought he was gonna get stuck at doing the same thing over and over again. From what I heard, and as far as like you see different articles and things pop up that he wasn't interested in doing anymore. He was like, all right, I'm done with
Yeah, but
this.
when you're in that position in an industry like that and you do bad on what studio's going to trust you for a
Yeah.
while? They're going to keep
So
an eye on you.
he
Yeah.
gets to go back to whatever what he was doing before. He's like, I'll do what I love, which I mean, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, he should have done. He should at least made a better effort than that, because
At least go out big, go out strong, prove that
yeah, at
instead of
least
like being
Exactly.
mediocre,
not. I
being
mean,
mediocre.
even if it wasn't even mediocre. Even if it was mediocre, then I understood.
At
Because
the end, he
yeah,
had kids with toys beating the bad guy. Let's remember that. Just remember that the
Well,
kid.
godlike power. I'm like, I don't even know. Nope.
Whoever
No.
shall, whoever wields this hammer shall have the powers of Thor for a temporary moment.
Yeah,
That was
the
terrible.
fine print.
You know what? We need to not talk about this. Just like we don't talk about episode 4 of Game of Thrones. That's it. That's all. This
I
Yeah,
can't even
we don't want to
remember
talk about Love and
episode
Thunder
that or
four.
anymore. It's
episode
gonna go.
9 of
I
Star
get
Wars.
upset.
I can't even remember episode 4 of Game of Thrones. I can't remember
We will not talk about episode 4 of Game of Thrones.
my
That's it. I said that.
my my
Or 9 of Star
memories
Wars. We
of
don't talk about that. How did Emperor Palpatine come back? How did he come back?
that's
He's a
That's
clone of a
that's.
clone.
I mean, if you read the comics, he apparently yes, he has several of them, but
He had sex. He had
still,
kids.
he
Raised his
did.
granddaughter.
Yeah, that was.
Ray had a relationship with Anakin Skywalker's grandson, and we didn't even know it until they kissed. What?
well, she's new. She was a
They're
weird
already planning her movies. You know that, right?
addition. Yeah, her. Yeah, she's getting her own. I mean, I'm not going to take it
Franchise.
away from her because I feel like for going into it. I mean, I know we're going into Star Wars territory, but um, for
That's true.
what
That's
it
true.
was, for what it was, she didn't do a bad job.
No, no, no,
That
no.
was some terrible writing. Like
Oh,
I think she would have done great if they didn't jack up the between that first, second, and third. And that what was his name, Ryan Johnson. If he didn't do whatever he was trying to do,
Riyadh, yeah, Riyadh, yeah.
oh my gosh, that was that. Like I saw that movie with such high hopes because the first one wasn't like the greatest. I mean, when you like to be honest, and I'll get slack for this. The originals aren't the greatest, but they're good. They are whatever. They're very artistic. You take it for what it is. It was technology that at the time was like way advanced for the when you hear about the budget that he had, which was non-existent. Um, so when you think about when I really look back at the originals, I'm like, I mean, they're not like, oh my gosh, these films, but it was like one of those things that because when people saw it, it was like, whoa, I've never seen anything like this. This is insane,
yeah,
and I
because
think
that was.
that's the biggest thing. But they were still good. I still love all the Star Wars movies. I'm gonna say movies because we're not
All
gonna
right.
talk about some of the
You know what
TV
says about
shows.
me seeing the originals is that when I seen the originals, right, it was already remastered or redid again, with up to date
Oh,
FX. So it's hard to like. I still haven't seen the originals, right?
which
Like,
apparently is hard to find because
yeah,
they
because
Nope. Well, guys, I got news for you. Edgar has what? Number one, I still got a VHS,
oh, I'm about to say you got that VHS.
and number two, I actually have the video digitally remastered originals before he edited the
Ah,
scenes that he wanted in the first time. I got the first generation, not the fourth one, where he changed a lot of stuff. Now, the only
Yeah.
way to really watch it is Laserdisc, unfortunately. And there's no, you can
Laserdisc.
find the originals. You just have to look for them, and they're classic
Is that
movies,
is
very
that
expensive.
VHS the VCR for me? Finding that VCR, I was like, where do they
I mean,
sell
I
VCR?
just I just dug up an old VCR that still works. I had some whole movies I was able to use. I was like, oh snap!
No, you just gotta clean it. That's all. Take the dust out and boom, it works like brand new. That's like a crap like that.
And one
Yeah, I
thing about
found
them
that too.
VCRs, they durable now. You just
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
yeah.
it.
it lasts longer than these phones that I still
They're
can't
just
get my
wheels.
video
That's all. They're
back.
literally just wheels.
Yeah, man.
I was
It's
able to
really the
buy a
tapes you gotta
new.
take care of.
Yeah, there's a what's the
Oh,
word? A on the inside there's like a rubber band, a special rubber band. And so
uh,
once you fix that, those get loose after a while.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
I know.
once you fix those, then it'll start moving again. Because mine was dead.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about. It's more like the film too, because it
Yeah,
what if what you call it fades. It fades. It's all film stuff.
some of them, it does have that issue sometimes.
Yeah. I mean,
gentlemen,
you
may
take
I
good care of
ask if
it.
either one of you have watched what's her name? Ridley, whatever from Star Wars, whatever her name is. Her new
Ridley.
movie, The Cleaner.
No, I did hear about it.
I saw it the other day. It is good. She's not so bad at it. She's not so bad.
The cleaner.
Or really Daisy, or Daisy Ridley, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Daisy Ridley. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it was her. Like everybody, in the
No, you're right.
beginning, you
It
hear
was
all the stuff about, oh, she's terrible. It's like, no, I don't think she was
uh,
terrible. I think that she
the
was
script
given
was
a
bad.
bad. She was given a bad choose. she was given a bad job. She was given a bad script, and I think it was going in a good direction. Like I mean, the first one was just a slight imitation of the original,
A
and I
slight,
think
it's a whole imitation. Let's be honest, it's a whole
Yeah.
imitation. Think about it. Chick,
that's because they were playing on the
random
nostalgia.
planet,
Page by
same exact
page.
planet actually. Like now that I think about it, same. You know what I'm
It's the
saying?
same planet, yeah.
Han and Chewie come back. Come on, like right? Han shoots first. They kept that in the script too. Go off to a death planet that destroys other planets. Exactly the movie. It's a whole, and then she finds out she's a Jedi.
And then they try and make you think that she's the lost daughter in the beginning,
They
and
Like
then
didn't
they
even have they didn't have a script written with any three of them.
and then they
George Lucas
retcon
had
it again.
the idea, and they ignored his entire suggestions for it.
I heard that
Yeah.
he was trying to help, and they're like, "Nah, buddy,
No, we'll go our own way. Thank you.
nah,
like
Thank you
buddy,
very
we're
much.
the
good."
complete rip
I
off
mean, you
that.
made this into $1 billion thing, but we're okay now. We're several
Yeah,
$1 billion. You're only a billion.
here's your million.
Okay, here's
Have a
million.
great day.
It was billions. Remember, he sold it for
Eight
billions.
Did
billion.
he get it for billions? I thought it was
Yeah, he
less
got
than
it for a
that.
billion.
Yeah,
For a
Still
billion.
yeah.
wasn't enough.
It
Wasn't
Because
wasn't
enough.
enough.
remember, for those 30 years, he kept the franchise market for every Star Wars thing. Star Wars, even though they didn't release new movies, they released new books, which led to releasing more new toys and different characters. Because if you look around, there are toys, specific miniature toys that are made from characters from the books. So by the time Disney decided to buy it, it was worth what they purchased it for. But they wanted nothing to do with his ideas afterwards. They were like, "We got it. Thank you. We'll keep your legacy going. Bingo." And
Let
that was
me.
it. And he's like, "You fucked
But
it." Oh, sorry.
from
Can I
what I
say that on a
remember,
podcast?
but it won't bleep it out. From my understanding, he didn't want to deal with it. He was done. He said he
No,
was
he
handing it
was.
over.
No, no. He had given them context of what he because okay, here's the story about Star Wars that I ended up finding out because I read the original script. It ain't nothing like we watched. It wasn't even called the Force. It was called the Bogan. I was like, Bogan, that's crazy. It was like, and it wasn't even Luke Skywalker. It was Luke Starkiller.
Yeah, I remember
So,
Luke Starkiller. I remember hearing that.
What?
so apparently, whoever was mentoring him told him, "This is a great story, but you need to start. I think you should start from this chapter." And that's why he started in chapter 4. Rumor had it that someone read the original three first scripts. In them, Darth or Anakin Skywalker gets shot and lands and hits a volcano. That's how he becomes crippled, and it's by either another Jedi or mentor of some kind that caused him to then betray and become Darth Vader. Um, there was a whole bunch of other things going on that they said, but by the time he found the financing and everything, he had rewritten the entire thing. I mean, he had like 6 or 7 drafts. They're all online and they're all different, and they kept progressing until we got the Star Wars we saw it back in the '70s. For those of us who are old like myself, because I was
Me and
one,
Manny were still not
I saw it
conceived
on
yet.
I saw it on those laser discs like the first time. I'm telling you, and it was different. But at the time, I also was a big fan of sci-fi. Doctor Who. I saw Dan Shannon's original movies. That's the gentleman who wrote Alien. So I saw all that stuff prior to Star Wars. The thing that made, oh, and the original black and white Flash Gordon. When Star Wars came out, what made it so appealing was the fact that he took these beautiful exotic places and made them look alien. And he had a good story. He literally did have a good story, but he worked his ass off to get that story. He worked really hard, and for some reason, Disney said, "The hell with the context that you created 30 years earlier. We're going to change everything." So I was like, okay, well,
But
that's the
funny
case,
enough,
then
they
that's
didn't
the
change
case.
nothing. They just plagiarized All they changed was the main character from male to
Yeah,
female.
because they have to hit the nostalgia buttons. They gotta get you the feels like, oh, I remember this. It feels the same. they
They
gotta.
Exactly.
literally copied and paste would just change the genders of every character, major character, but except it was funny. And instead of Yoda, they made Luke Yoda.
Which
That's literally,
that scene
And he was already short too, so
that
hey,
scene made me so mad when he threw that saber over his shoulder. I was so mad with that. Like his whole persona was not Luke Skywalker. And I'm glad he said it. Like you hear, if you ever hear podcasts of, or any other like interviews of him, he was pissed off with what they did to him too. It's like that was not Luke. I doubt Luke would have changed his mind after all those years of always being optimistic, being raised in the gutter. Everything still went bad for him as he grew up, and he was always positive still.
hold up now. I think we're going off topic because now I'm going to. Well, I want to start saying something about Star Wars, but then we're going to forget the comic book,
No,
the trailer we're talking
we
about.
left. That's why I said we left. We left. I mean, I'll pull this and
Because
add this to another
I am not sorry
portion.
because I started this whole
I already
conversation.
have
I
a
am not
lot of big
sorry.
Star Wars things to say about. Because man, when you start looking at all this right now, I'm just reading some Star Wars books, and I'm like, oh, this is
And the
why?
shows just shows have
It was. It's the reason why I
driven
hate the Alien franchise. So anyway, well, that's a whole different topic.
the
All
shows
right,
have
Manny,
just lost
I'm
me.
ready for this curveball. What's
All right, what's
up?
the curveball
What's
you got?
up?
All
Yeah.
right, so the curveball. Well, actually, real
Come
quick
on.
before we get into the curveball, real quick, as far as mentioning, so Marvel. Let's get back to Marvel for just a few minutes, and then we'll start
Yeah, let me
wrapping it
flip
up.
my hat for this one. This is about to get
So
serious.
as far as with this trailer, we got a over crazy cast. I don't even know how they're gonna even like show everybody. Are they just gonna be like a passing by? It's gonna be like the end game where you just see everybody and they're not even gonna say anything. So how do you think this will affect? Like, is this the nail in the coffin if this movie doesn't hit for Disney? Like, are they gonna have to reboot if Doomsday doesn't hit?
In my opinion, they are already rebooting. If you look at it, but like they're not rebooting, but they're just trying to move on now from the original cast to a new cast, right? So they're trying to dead all the mistakes. In my opinion, they're trying to dead everything, right? They're trying to get rid of all the mistakes, introduce a new characters, Fantastic Four, right? But they're also trying to get rid of all the Marvel characters, like all the X Men, and restart with that because they haven't introduced the X Men until now. Like the first sign of X Men was in Doctor Strange, right? I believe that was the first time we got like X Men introduced, and they killed off.
The
That,
Marvels?
huh?
And Miss Marvel.
Wasn't it
So
the end of the
Miss
Marvels?
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of
Oh
Madness.
yeah, yes, yeah, oh, that's right.
First introduced the X Men into it, the Marvel universe, and
Well,
then
yeah,
That
but
was
they
another, and then
so I mean, but if you remember Miss Marvel, you had them actually mention to the show. They actually mentioned mutants. That was the first time they actually talked. Remember, they weren't allowed to say mutants either until they had
yeah.
the property. So Miss Marvel was actually the first time they even mentioned mutants in the MCU. So technically, she would be the quote unquote introduction because I mean Miss Marvel, she's not a mutant, but they called her a mutant. She's similar to what's she called Miss Marvel because she has the she ha- Captain Marvel. She has this like the what is it the energy? All that's supposed to be energy, but they making it seem as if this is a. And wait,
And
no, no,
she's not
no.
even.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me
That's not her
reverse.
power
That's not her
because
power.
she's
It's
inhuman. You know that,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
she's
what I'm
an inhuman,
saying.
and I was like, oh man,
Yeah, that's not. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's my mistake.
another
Yeah,
lost
she's
opportunity.
she has like Mr. Fantastic powers, doesn't she?
oh, okay, you talking about okay? I was like, which
Miss
Yeah,
Marvel.
the
So
comic
Miss
book
Marvel, the
version.
little girl.
there's three of them, but it was
Yeah,
like the black
So
one. I can't.
Miss Marvel, the girl from the TV show,
Yeah, I got you
the
now.
Indian girl. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that show, they had what is it? That bureau, whatever the bureau. I forgot the name of it. Is the organization
of
that's
Moon
pretty much
Affairs for
yeah
no
unification
something
or something like that.
affairs.
Yeah. So they that's where they got the information that that she's a mutant. So that's what we first hear. Like, oh, mutants are in the world now of MCU. So now that we have mutants, now we can start popping them into different spots.
My
But I mean, if
problem.
if you didn't watch it, you would have definitely like
No,
it would have
I
went over
I
you.
seen Miss Marvel, but I kind of gave up because I was like, ain't she gonna be Mr. Fantastic? Like, why she got like
She
weird
got
powers? I was like,
glowing
this
power.
ain't
Yeah, because
powers.
they had to prepare for the Marvels show movie, which they did Rambo terrible. I mean, I feel like she would have been a great character on her own. The Rambo, the other, what was I forgot what her
The other Captain
superhero name
Marvel.
is. Yeah,
That's the first Captain Marvel.
what's her name? Her name is, they call her something like, already forgot her name. But
Uh,
I feel like
um,
she would have had so much more potential if they
Prism.
would have had, yeah, Prism. There you go. If she would have had her own show, I feel
Yeah.
like by herself without, I mean, throwing her out of nowhere in a Wanda Vision, and then like bam, oh, here she is in the Marvels. I feel like they should have built her character a little bit more because I liked her character. I liked her a lot. I
I
felt
see
like
what
she
you
was,
mean. Yeah,
yeah, I felt like she was strong. I just felt like they did her dirty. Like they didn't give her
They done the
anything.
Marvels dirty in general, in my opinion. Captain, Miss, and Prism over there. Like they did her them dirty. Like think about it. They're not the greatest Marvels. Like they nobody like I don't know. I didn't I wasn't looking forward to seeing Captain Marvel or Miss Marvel. Like I didn't and then when I saw what they did to them, I'm like, yeah, I don't know what they're doing with the Marvels. Literally the company's names and these three women. And you kind of ruin it. Like, all right, go figure.
well, at least they at the end of the Marvels they showed the possibility of the Young Avengers,
Yeah,
but they
yeah.
really haven't been talking about that. The
Only thing
production
they
I
showed
mean,
in
I
that
don't
back
know.
end.
whole Marvel cinematic part right there was Beast. Like, all right, we're gonna introduce the X-Men by transporting Prism into a different multiverse. But what I'm saying was they introduced the X-Men
Yeah, yeah.
and Doctor Strange with Professor X and who else was that was it, right? He was the only X-Men.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
So he was the first one, right? With Robert not Robert Patterson. Is it Robert Patterson? It's Professor
no,
X.
Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart. My fault. Oh yeah, Robert Pattinson is Batman.
Twilight, the twinkle,
Yeah, Batman.
twinkle, twinkle.
I like him as Batman, by the way. I think he did great in his
Yeah,
Batman.
I
I
did
was
too. I enjoyed
surprised.
it.
Yeah,
I was like, the little
he's
that he
very
talked,
good.
he was good. I was like, look at Twilight over
His
here.
little 2000 Justin Bieber swoop.
Look at look at glitter boy over here. Playing a good Batman. Ruthless. I liked him. He was ruthless. I like that. I was like, man, he's good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. That was really,
Um,
I enjoyed. I think, and you know, the derail it one more time. I just enjoyed the beginning of it because you got Detective Batman. He was checking out the scenes, you know, doing all the detective work. I
actually
love
talking with
that.
the cops, like into
I
like,
love that
yeah,
when they get Batman to do detective stuff.
nah, that's definitely. I mean, he's
That's
supposed to
what
be
he is, the
a
world's greatest
detective.
detective.
Yeah, second to
So,
Sherlock Holmes.
all right,
Maybe
but
like
as
him.
far, but just to bring it back, just as
Actually,
far
that's
as
not true. It turns out. Did you guys know that in the DC universe, there's Batman, the world's greatest detective, and it turns out there's someone called the world's oldest detective. I didn't realize this. Do you know who that is?
no, no,
Hawkman.
Hawk, man.
Because remember, he's been reincarnated several times.
Yeah, but he been
And it turns out in the
reincarnated. That's
comic
not
books,
fair. Like make Batman reincarnated, and then it'd be like, all right,
he's been a detective. You know, he's actually
I think he
solved crimes.
died. He's
Okay.
dead.
And then Sherlock Holmes is number three. There you
Okay, with that being said, shit, we're losing. I keep
No, no,
changing
we're
the
good.
subject.
No, we're good. We're good. So I mean, as far as the is this the nail in the coffin? I feel like if they can't stick this because of how much money they will lose if they can't get it, and I think that's why they're bloating it so much because they're trying to build up this billion. I mean, I feel like they're gonna have to at least break like $6 to $7 billion just to even get close to making even. With all these people that they're throwing in, the amount of CGI they're probably gonna have to do, the marketing that they're gonna have to do, they're gonna have to hit a good high billions in order to
go. Well, the
make
budget is
back.
not announced yet. So, with let's say a suspected budget of $500 million,
I feel
considering the
like
amount of people they
I
got in
feel
it,
like it's more because I mean,
it might be right.
how much are they giving Downey
Oh,
Jr.
Robert
on
got
his
20 off the
own?
top.
Exactly, exactly. So just that, and then they're bringing all these other high names. Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart, while they're super names, they're not getting paid as much as the him and Hemsworth and even Hiddleston. I feel like is going to be making more than them. So imagine
I was
this
surprised to
is
see Hiddleston. To be honest, I was like, "What's Loki
yeah, he's
gonna
going to
be?"
come back. He's going to be a plant. He's just going to be a tree just in the
Hey, just
background.
stay on the chair. I done created this. Oh God.
So I feel like
Loki
if
didn't die, so
he's
No,
just
he's
a
not
he's a
dead, but
tree. He's a
actually,
tree.
technically, he's dead. He is dead, and he
I
ain't
have
happy.
not seen the show. Spoilers.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm talking about in Infinity War, he died. And yeah, Infinity War, right?
Yeah, but the Loki
Hey,
series
he said he has not seen
brings
the show.
bring and he
Shut
knows
up.
that part. He knows. I mean, it's a Loki
Yeah,
series,
but
so he
no,
knows
no,
he's
you're
alive
talking
there.
about Infinity War. But you also remember in Infinity War, he stole the Tesseract and then came back with the Tesseract. So he
And
No,
did
that's
something
why
to
you
make
get
I
sure
just don't
the.
want to say
to
nothing because you
ensure
haven't
that he
seen it.
lived.
I
But that's
I haven't
but
seen that
then
part.
that would be multiverse thing still,
Yeah, 'cause that's a
because
variant.
yeah,
That's not Loki.
that Loki died in
Yeah, I'm
Infinity
talking
War,
about
and then you
Loki.
have
He hasn't seen it.
what would it be?
You guys
You would
shut up.
have the first Avengers.
How come you haven't
Loki
seen
is
Loki?
alive.
I'm surprised you haven't seen Loki. I agree. That's a good
No,
show.
I saw the first season. I haven't seen the second one.
Oh, okay. I'm about to. Oh,
Oh,
see,
okay,
you know
okay.
what we talking about then? That's a variant, baby.
I've seen
Hey,
the
hey,
first
hey,
season. I
boo.
saw the first season.
That's a variant, baby. That's a
But yeah,
variant, baby.
yeah. So the Loki from Loki series will be the Avengers, the first Avengers movie Loki, not the Infinity War Loki.
No, I know, I know, I know.
So that would be that one.
I thought he didn't see Loki at all. I was like,
Oh,
how you not?
oh, oh.
He just
Oh
has.
no, no, this is the second season.
No,
Go watch
okay.
the
So
second
yeah, I
season.
won't
I'm
say.
mad to be honest. I am mad. It's not gonna be a third one, but you know that's the reason why.
But okay, so yeah, that's my prediction. If they're not hitting it, if they don't hit those like high to mid billions, then we're gonna see. They're gonna be like, nope, we're scrapping everything. Bring out the X Men, just a brand new movie. That's what I'm feeling.
I think the major issue right now is okay. So here's my thoughts on this whole Marvel. All right, so I think they're doing Doomsday too soon, unfortunately. You know, and I understand why they're doing it because of the whole Jonathan Majors fiasco. But at the same time, like if you didn't see the footage, he was innocent. So they made a rash decision to start working on this because Kang messed up or got into something, and it's like, yo, y'all can kind of take back your word and go back to the Kang dynasty. You know, because they built that up so much. I was ready for that. I was like, yeah, Kang
I
big
was too.
bad.
I was
And
kind of
now
excited because I liked him in what's that show he did? Uh, it's it was a weird, crazy show on. I think it was on Max.
Oh, Lovecraft Country.
Yes, such a good show. Crazy. If you're not ready for it, but it was really good. I thought he did such a great job, and so when I saw that he was gonna be Kang, I was excited,
yeah,
and
like
he was definitely the best part of the Ant Man.
he's the main reason why we went to see Ant Man. If it wasn't for him, no one went to see Ant Man. Like I was confused why he was an Ant Man in the first place. To be honest, I feel like because that was the bad
Because he
one,
was
right?
in the quantum realm. That's it.
That was the worst
They
Kang of
just
them
needed
all,
an
right?
excuse to help him escape.
But that was the worst one, right? He was the worst King of them all. That's why he was stuck in that realm because he was the one that was shunned by the
Apparently.
universe. So, and my
He's the
issue is
worst
right with
Kang
Kang
according to the other Kangs.
when they messed up. The reason why they messed up with Kang was because they kept showing the same version of Kang like throughout the whole multiverse. Like, yo, why is Jonathan Majors the only Kang? Like, they could have made different
That's
Kangs.
that's who Kang is.
No, no, what I'm saying is they because there's different versions of Kang, but they kept using Jonathan Majors as Kang instead of like
No,
Well,
that's exact. No, but
that's
that's what I'm saying. That's who Kang is. There's only the versions from multiverses look different, but it is still the same person.
well, like I'm saying,
well,
like
because I
okay,
what was it? The theory. The theory goes that they might still use Kang, but it'll be because I mean obviously you have the different versions every multiverse, so they're gonna. From my understanding is that they might possibly pull it back to Kang, but obviously a different actor that is obviously that different multiverse.
You know who
So
they
it'll
said it
be
would be?
just a whole different person. I forgot who it was, but I remember hearing
The
that.
guy from Fear of the Walking Dead,
which one?
the black dude,
Oh, the oh,
The
the one who
father?
just won the award.
the
The
staff. The his
Yeah, okay, the
he
father.
was
Okay,
the one
he's got the
who trained
mustache.
Rick.
yeah, I know who you're talking about. He trained. He lost his
He'd
son.
make a perfect Kang. He's such an asshole to begin with. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting what a podcast. For the characters
I
that he plays, actually, and he plays them very well when he plays an a-hole.
Lenny James. He played Morgan.
Yes, that's it.
I also would have been cool with seeing also from The Walking Dead, the guy who played Ezekiel,
The
the
priest.
king.
You know what? Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't see him being that hard. Kang is a piece of.
Well, I think
Oof.
because they made because like the king. Remember the beginning when they introduced King, he had this presence, and then when he got all soft and butter when Carol came and he got emotional, it kind of it kind of throws all that away. He's like, I'm nobody. It reminds me of the cowardly lion from the Wizard of Oz. Is like he's this big bad presence, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm emotional.
Wait, at what point was he emotional? He wasn't emotional in that quantum.
He is in the I'm talking about Ezekiel from The Walking Dead. He
Oh, him, yeah.
so that's what I'm saying is like if you look at him in when he was the king and he was just the guy, everybody was like, oh man, he's like this big tough guy, and playing this part, and
Excuse
then
me.
when he revealed himself, it kind of throws all that strength away from him, and I think that's probably why it's hard to see him as a tough guy.
He did play a very sweet part. Even
Because I enjoyed him
when he
as
was
an
shooting
actor. I
people.
enjoyed him. Yeah.
Very talented actor. Really talented.
Now you know it's funny they're using him as T'Challa in the new his face.
Yes, there's a game. Yes, there's
The game,
a
yeah,
new
yeah.
video game coming out with him. Yeah, he's the actor.
The
He's the
Black
one.
Panther.
the
Get
He's
voice
T'Challa.
one of
actor and
the
the actual face too. So
iteration of Black Panthers. One of the lineage. All right,
he's
so
T'Challa's grandfather, right?
All
No.
right,
all
here we
right,
go.
so
Curveball.
for the curveball. So I mean,
Curveball.
this
Don't
thing is
announce
gonna.
what it is.
I know
Just
I'm
play
trying
it.
not to show because it's gonna show you part of it. So
Oh, hold on. Let me lower
let me
this.
cue it up.
Come on. What the hell? There it is. Okay. I'm ready.
So for the
Sorry if I burped to
curveball,
the audience.
it's gonna cue it up. So close your eyes. Well, so you don't see
I
what
got them
it is.
closed. I got them closed. I got them closed. That's cool. I've got them closed. It's them one open.
All right.
I trust you.
So all right.
Oh, I know what this is. I know exactly what this is. Yes.
What do you want, little one? Your ass.
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast.
Who are you?
Frank Drebin. Squad. Police squad.
Yep.
The new version. Hi, Daddy. It's me, Frank Jr. Love you.
So the so
Yep.
that was my little
Making
curveball.
good, baby. He's
The
coming back.
the reboot of the Naked Gun. I love the original Naked Gun.
Yep, so did
So
I.
I find it to be absolutely perfect to have Liam Nielsen be the son of Leslie Nielsen. When I saw that when he took off the mask of the little girl, I'm like, what is happening?
He uses a lollipop as a weapon. I mean, come on.
And it's just his grizzled voice and just him doing comedy. I find that for me, that's perfect. That is completely
It's
perfect
different.
because
It's different.
Leslie Nielsen through those movies, he's never a goofy. In all these movies, he's always serious. but he just his comedic timing was always great. So I really think Liam Neeson is gonna kill this movie. It's gonna be great.
You're
I
right
agree.
about it. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you know what else is good? It showed it's gonna be bloody in a
Yep.
comedic way.
My hope is that they just don't pull any punches with the jokes. I mean, it is Seth MacFarlane, so he doesn't care when it comes down to it. So hopefully he can still keep it like edgy because if they don't bring the edge, it's not gonna be the same. It has to be edgy. So that was my little curveball I wanted to throw in
I
That was my
just
there.
saw that
first
yesterday.
trailer. That was actually the first time. I never seen Naked Gun either, so I
Really?
can't. Yeah, I
You
gotta
You've
gotta
watch
never
it.
seen
watch
they? Oh,
it.
you gotta watch them. Yeah,
Is
you
it a
gotta
TV
watch all
series
three,
or a
dude.
movie?
There's a few of them. I think there's three of them, isn't there?
Is it a
Yeah,
movie?
the three.
It's a three movie
That is,
series.
yeah.
Okay,
It
it's a
doesn't
movie.
matter which one you watch. I mean, they're all hilarious. You
No,
could,
but you want to watch the first one.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
You want to watch them in order.
Nah, definitely. I gotta watch these. I ain't never seen them, so
yeah. So if you watch the original and you
The
think and you go
original
back to
Twilight, the original
these,
movies.
if you and you go back to this trailer, you'll see why I'm excited about this because
okay.
it's one of old school stupid movies like Airplane. You seen Airplane?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the same world. It's that same thing. It's like Leslie Nielsen, the white hair guy. He's another one that
No,
every
I've
time I
seen
saw him,
plenty
he
of
was
scary
always white.
movies.
He was
Some
always
scary
white
movies.
hair.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
he was
Yeah.
in
plenty,
scary
plenty of shit
movies,
there.
and he
Yeah.
always did the same thing. He was just so serious. Like he never cracked a smile. He never like even Mr. Magoo. That and Mr. Magoo is a terrible movie, but
Yes, it
he
was.
did such a good job that you couldn't help but still laugh.
Serious actor in a comedy movie. That's what makes it funny.
So yeah, he's
Well, if you never see Leslie Nielsen in his sci-fi film, The Fantastic Planet, you should watch it. It's one of the first color sci-fi movies that came out for Technicolor, and I mean, he was before he was a serious actor, the serious actor that he became with the Naked Gun movies. But it's a very popular film in the sci-fi industry, as the way that it was shot, the storyline, and everything about it. Um, but Leslie Nielsen, man, those movies were hilarious to watch,
Oh yeah, I
and to
mean
see Liam
overall,
Neeson.
he was just Leslie Nielsen was just legend. I feel like altogether.
Uh,
Is he still
the good
alive?
thing is that they made a stupid nod
No,
to
he
OJ
passed.
while also denying OJ.
I know that's so wrong. That's
That's no,
so
that's
wrong.
perfect. They acknowledge, hey, you know what? He was
I
in it,
know.
but we don't need him in
No, I know. I was like, and, he's all his controversies. That's just a joke. It's like no, no,
Well,
no, no.
you guys watched the new Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yes.
You saw how they treated the actor who played the father. They never showed his face,
Yeah.
but they reminded you that, this
But
piece of shit did something messed up.
but
Sorry, I
I
did it
mean,
again, Manny. Sorry for
but
cursing.
but I mean, OJ's was done years ago. This other guy, they just found out about his not too long ago. So that was why. I can see that one. That one was, but I feel like they did that Beetlejuice portion perfect. Like the Beetlejuice wasn't the greatest, but I enjoyed it. I
No,
really
I
liked it.
enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
I
I
thought
like
it
the
was
second
really
one.
good.
so
Like
did I.
it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was. I enjoyed it from beginning to end.
I
I mean, well, we could talk about it another time, but there are some things in
Yeah.
it that were weird to me, but I still enjoyed it.
no, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed
Oh,
that
it was
Beetlejuice
Tim Burton.
was two film. It was good. It was good. Did Tim Burton direct the second one as well?
Yeah,
Oh, I
Yep.
didn't know.
because he's not a big sequel person, so this was. I was surprised that he did it.
Yeah, he hasn't done a sequel to any of his films. I would assume except Batman.
Batman.
No, yeah, Batman he did. He
Just the
didn't want
first
to do
two,
that
right?
one either.
And then after that, that was it. He hasn't done
Yeah,
a sequel.
he was supposed to do the. They wanted him to do the 3 and the 4, but he didn't. He's like, nope.
Nah, because he wanted to do Superman 2 as well. He was like, "Nah, I want to do Superman." He wanted to do Justice. I feel like Tim Burton wanted to do Justice League before Justice League was a thing.
I wouldn't be surprised. He probably had ideas for it.
No, because guess who he had? He had what's his name? Ghost Rider. What's his name?
Yeah, and, Cage.
Nicholas Cage. He was gonna have Nicholas
Yeah, that
Cage
was that
be
whole
Superman.
sequence. And I mean, if you've seen Flash, yeah, that's that whole
Yeah.
sequence where he fights
So
the giant
I think
spider.
He would have made a terrible
because
Clark Kent,
they
Nicolas
scrapped
Cage.
the idea, right? Or like
I think
Hollywood.
that would have been interesting. I definitely would have think that was it. I mean, Nicolas Cage now, I definitely can't see it. But Nicolas Cage back then, maybe a weird iteration. It would have been interesting.
Well, he had
It
the
would have been
mullet.
serious. It
He
definitely
had
would
a
have been
mullet.
serious.
Nah, because the Batman film wasn't serious. I think right? Was it serious?
The first two, it bordered the line of like that serious, goofy.
That's
Um,
actually when Batman was becoming serious, though. Like around that after that film, because that's when Batman started taking a turn to where he was more serious, more dark, and more broody. That and they
Where
dropped
the
the
comic books?
well
it's talking
comic
about the
books
film.
and films too. Because I know it started getting more serious with what's the comic book? You should know this where he's old and fights Superman, but he's retired. That's when it got real serious for
Oh,
Batman.
Batman Returns.
Yeah, Return is it Return?
But no, I think Tim Burton actually the way that he was shooting it was trying to present the like you said the old style of how the comic books were. But his films actually got to me like he get a little goofy in the end, and he lost track of what Manny said earlier on. The film is about a detective. He kind of showed a little bit of it in his two movies, but Christopher Nolan brought it out, and so did I forgot his name, the director who did the current one with Robert Pattinson. That was
Yeah.
the whole. That's really the whole point of Batman that they've always ignored. The TV show made it a joke. Tim Burton made it about more of the aesthetic of the environment, but not really the personalities or the character of the villains. Sure, Jack Nicholson was a brilliant Joker. Don't get me wrong. He was a brilliant Joker, but he was a joke of a Joker because when you look at the way Heath Ledger played it, it was the reality of a psychopath. I'm sorry, of a sociopath. That's they have no conscience, and to see that the way that they did present that, but Christopher Nolan took it serious,
Yeah.
and Tim Burton didn't know how because he doesn't write like that. He's got great dark stories, but they're gothic in their nature. They're not evil. They're not based on realistic reality, real crimes and things like that. And that's what made, like Manny said, bringing Batman back to a detective, which is the core of Batman, is what I think made the three trilogy from Christopher Nolan so good, and the last one so good because
Honestly,
we all love a good mystery.
the one with Robert Pattinson was actually like it was real detective work in that one. To be honest,
Yeah,
he really was a
yeah,
detective.
you're absolutely right.
It was better than the Nolans. That's what I liked about it. I was surprised whoever like the director of that film was. I was like, wow, they really got that detective aspect because he's trying to figure out the Riddler's plan, and he didn't even know until the very end because he thought he had it piece by piece, but no,
And it
it
was too
wasn't
late.
too
All he
late.
could do then was save as many as he could. That was it.
Correct. While protecting.
And you're absolutely 100% correct.
So
That's
that's what
why
I like about
I
that
liked it.
Batman film. It was different. To be honest, it was true to the like not true to the comics, but like I don't know how to explain. It was a new take on Batman, and he did what he had. He completed that. So he was like, how is this Batman gonna be different from the rest of them? I'm gonna make him more of the actual like a detective this time. It's not all about the fighting. He got that too. The fighting was realistic and brutal. I was like, wow. Even when gliding, when he got and mind you, he messed up the gliding aspect. He made it more realistic where Batman's not gonna be perfect because this is his first time and he doesn't have his suit. I was like, bro, this is. That's why I was like, Robert Pattinson did a good job. The director of that film did a good job and doesn't get him praise. To be honest, we need him to direct the rest of these DC movies because I was like, this is good. I hope he
Well,
doesn't
like
just
we all
focus.
said, it's all about Superman and whether or not he can keep that dark tone that DC has because the animated movies are really good and the real movies were crappy
I
because they
mean, the
wanted to make
TV shows
everybody
are good
laugh.
too. At least the Flash and the Arrow, when the first three seasons are obviously they took a downhill from that point. But there's only so much you could do with those
The
characters.
Flash, yeah.
I like. Did you see Superman and Lois, the TV show? I like the TV show. I was mad that it
Nope,
ended. It was
nope.
I thought
good.
it was pretty good. Yeah, I thought it
It's
was pretty
good.
good. The first two seasons. I didn't get this third season.
Honestly, when they changed the character, the child, that's when they got bad to me. And I was like,
I
man, it
did
get messed
notice.
up too. And
I didn't see the third season, but I noticed that when like a clip came out, I was like, wait a minute, something's weird.
yeah, they changed the one of the brothers, and I think that's what made it go down because everybody liked the brother that they hated the they didn't hate the guy they changed, but it was different. It was weird because
Yeah, it's like I mean, the soap operas do it all the time. They change it.
yeah, but he's the
and
main
now,
character though. Like the sons are a main character, and that's the problem. He's
and
about
now
and not
Buddy
just Superman,
Cal
but
Jr.
the whole
is
the whole
that's in this
family.
too.
The whole family's is what I'm saying is major. So it's like when they changed him, and I understand why they changed it because the kid was a mess up in real life, was getting to like DUIs. It's like I just help the young man. Like he's stupid, full of money. I don't know what to do. Like I
But
hate
all
when they
right.
just drop these people instead of trying to help them. Like I understand that people make bad choices in real life. Like try to help them before you give up on them, because you don't know. Look at Robert Downey Jr. Major drug head, got a second chance with Marvel, right? Flip the
Mel
whole
Gibson saved his life.
give instead of giving up on them like Jonathan Majors. Like look how Robert Downey be honest, to be truthful. Like I hate the fact that Marvel just shut down Jonathan Majors. Like we're not associating ourselves with him. Okay, what about Robert?
Oh
Robert
yeah, I
was
mean,
a
people talk about that all
big
the time.
big time coke. Yeah,
Well,
Robert that
there's
low key
also
was
a
like
big difference on how perception of what they both of them did. Robert was self-medicating and hurting himself. The image is Jonathan Major injured a woman, which in this industry has been known to not be looked at. I
Yeah,
don't
people
agree that
don't
they
even
should have
blatantly.
canceled them
Yeah.
until they had all the facts and everything was done. You're absolutely right. But Robert, I mean, if anything, Marvel saved his life because he had nobody that wanted to work with him when they gave him the Iron Man part. The studio was about to go right under. They had one shot. This movie made made it or broke it. This movie was needed to be a hit, or the studio would never make another movie again. And he had no idea how it was going to be. He had no one else that gave him a job. And instead of going in there like Manny said earlier on, the way Waikiki went in on his second movie and directed Love and Thunder, like I don't care about this. I'm just going to get finish doing my contract and get out. Robert Downey was like, you know what? I want to play this like I'm having fun because I haven't worked for a while and I'm sober and I'm going to have fun. And you believe the character, you believe how he played it. Next thing you know, $20 million pictures, 20 pictures later, he never really has to work ever again. So, but he's got a stake in something that he gave birth to. There wouldn't be an MCU if Iron Man failed. Jonathan Majors, they were going to make him the new stake. They were going to make him the mantle of a new franchise, and he was going to be perfect playing it. But how would they have looked if they said, this guy is an accused woman abuser? We don't know
yeah.
what happened, but we can't keep him on there until the end. Robert
I
Downey
mean,
Jr. had already finished everything. He didn't have
I
no judgment. He was already sober.
that's fine and all, but like I said, at least give the same for Jonathan Majors as well too. Like should have waited. I mean, they already did all this and announced all this, and then when that happened to him, instead of like supporting and making sure,
Yeah,
because
I
he
mean,
is not guilty, and we
They
see the
should
I
have
see,
waited. You're right. They should have waited.
and then make an
yeah, I
apology
mean,
too. Like you
that's
know what, we'll take it back. We
they're
for
not gonna
once we could
apologize.
apologize. Like
And
yo,
they
they don't even want to say sorry to the man. Like
if they
yeah, we made a
apologize,
mistake. We jumped the
it'll be a
gun.
few years.
We messed up.
They did that to James Gunn when they fired him and brought him right back.
Yeah, look, and now look, gone again to do Superman. I'll be back.
And that wraps up episode one. We broke down some trailers, dropped a few hot takes, and yeah, my camera went up halfway through like it was on strike. But hey, the mic held down, and that's what counts. So if you like what you heard, make sure you hit the subscribe button, drop a follow, stick with us as we keep this thing rolling. Much love from me, Manny from Scatterbrain Gaming, and from my whole cousin crew. I thank you guys for being here on this first episode. Hopefully, we can keep this going for the long run, and who knows what happens from there. All right, so we'll catch you next time. Stay nerdy, stay curious, and hopefully, next time you'll actually see me. All right, thanks, guys.
All right, later.